Test. Okay, test. Right, this works. Alright, so I'm doing this because I want to be able to look back in the past and review how I did with basically a one-to-one. So I'm gonna do 2025's data again to see how I fare. One sec. Right, so I'm gonna start. So for January the 2nd, alright, so the last trading day of the previous month was basically a high volume node here, high volume node up here. These were the two prominent ones. We sold off to something in the past, then we reclaimed it. You see a support, went higher, this point was resistance, struggled, but eventually came up, but we failed to get past this amount of consolidation, and then we are starting to sell off now. On the 5 minutes, series of consolidation, we retest the low of this auction. Retest the low of this auction, now we're failing. And then on top of that, this was the high. So we made a structural change here on the 5 minutes. And similarly on the 15 minute we did so here, but we also have an external structural change. So this day I'll be bearish. Probably the target would be this high volume node. Let's see how the market open. What I'm anticipating is that two scenarios can happen. One, we're already failing at the high volume node, so it's possible that we don't even go back there again. We could just have an immediate flush, and then I'll probably want to see if we can retrace back up here, and then take a trade. So let's see. I kind of want to see the 5 minute close below there to yep. We're not gonna go back to the high volume node, we're gonna close below here. Let's see, I'm just gonna mark out this low because this is both the 5 minute and the 15 minute structural low. Here are the 5 minute close. So it closes there, but I don't really have an entry. So we're at the high volume node now. So we're now in discount of the previous day with a ledge. Just mark out this portion of price because this is like another consolidation. So now what I'm anticipating to happen, what I'm anticipating will happen is that we'll retrace somewhere here or even somewhere here, and then this is where I want to see continuation. But I'll wait for the 1 minute to show the same thing as well, that we want to continue lower. So right now it's probably no trades. Structure wise, there is a volume cutoff up here and discount right here. Be too opposed to look for shorts from here. But the structure did change on the 1 minute. Structure change. Okay, so what I'm seeing now is we're getting discount, and then we're not able to short off of the above the high volume node. So right now, if it closes above here on a 5 minutes, this looks like failure to go lower in this kind of a high volume node, and then now we're going higher. So 5 minute closes bullish, 1 minute has the retrace. So we're in the previous high volume node again. So what I want to see happen here for longs is that this 1 minute should retrace down and then close above. And for shorts is I want to see structure being built to take a short off of, but right here I can already see that it's for longs. So that might be the trade. So we got stopped out here. Also another sweep. So we closed above this external high. So the thought process for this is that we are closing above this 1 minute structural high. Auction market theory wise, at the bottom we're failing high volume, failing instant reaction. This was a fast move down, this was a fast move up. This was a statistical loss. So I'm anticipating that the auction will only return to the upper portion here, and then we'd go higher. Okay, so here the trade's invalidated. The shift to start looking for bearish such that I'm just looking for failure up here would probably start from here, because 15-minute we have no structural change. Like 15-minute we're still bearish. So on the 1 minute, this changed. Like we're bearish now. On the 1 and 15. So here we're in 1 minute structure. We're re-auctioning again. Let's see if this holds and close above here, because if this holds and close above there, it's a structural change for bullish. But if we fail to hold, it's just auction that failed. So right now the structural high was this. So this closes above. Discounting high volume node. 5 minutes we are still bullish because we changed our structure. Clearly at the low. So another statistical loss. This day we opened, 9:15 was here, we had a dump. There was no retracements. Went under value. Bullish structure. So now we have a bearish structure. We failed to go higher at this discount and we closed lower. Discount again. 1 minute we closed lower as well. Okay, at this point it's just fucking deviating from the plan. But how would I have dealt with this day though? Balance was down here for the previous day. So in market open we had a rip. So for the 5 minutes we retraced up into auction. Was the play to just stop sell down here because here the 5 minutes is in auction. If you have to fail it, price have went lower. Maybe. So for this day, balance was up here. We're basically in balance now. It's pretty balanced day the previous day as well. So depending on how this day opened, this would be the target above and the target below. So we're in previous day value, but we're in a balanced range today. Price is displacing out of this balance and out of previous day's balance, so we don't have sellers reloading. So if price were to retrace to a place of auction, then I would like to take a long. So here, for example, was yesterday's auction. Okay, so this was a win. Yeah, this was quite simple. This was yesterday's balance. Current day we open up basically at balance. So if you were to fail at the highs, that means that um sellers are present at this area, and we either go back to current day balance and we just ping pong inside, or we just go for the high volume node at the bottom. But because we accepted it, I just wanted to see buyers reload at basically the auction again. So when it came down here, I just wanted to put a buy stop, because in theory, if sellers fail here and buyers take over and the buyers took this high, that means buyers are in control. So then this would have played out. So for the next day, point of control being generated all the way up here. So that means that on this day, this is balance, this is balance, balance. So currently we're bidding value all the way at the highs. In the morning, the Asian session came down for discount. Buyers reloaded here at high volume, and then we continue pushing higher. So I don't expect price to deliver lower, because it's basically an efficient delivery. All of these are efficient deliveries. So I'm expecting for this day is that we just close above this high. On a 5 minutes, we rip higher, we come down. I just want to see it test the upper portion of value, and basically on the 1 minute to just have buyers reload at that high and then take a 1-to-1. Okay, so it's pretty easy. The thought process for this was basically current day, we traded back into value, consolidated, won the auction, the buyers won the auction, retested the auction, the buyers won the auction again, and we just keep generating balance as we go up. We keep retesting the auction at the high. Auction came up, retest. So if the opening were to have a strong displacement to the upside and close above all of the structural highs, then I'm just anticipating a 1 minute to retrace to that structural high, and for buyers to reload at the auction and then go higher. So for the next day, this was the auction for the previous day. So for the next day, we're basically building value at the exact same place. This is value, but it looks like we're breaking out. So the biggest chunk of value was up here. This was the next area of value. This was a big area of value. Actually, this whole thing was value yesterday. So what happened on this day? We opened up high. We failed to break out of this balance. Re-auction lower under POC. Tried to go above, but we failed at market structure. Came down into previously value very low. Got discount. Started to come higher. Was resistance at one point, but we failed to go lower. Was resistance again. And then now it's support. Buyers are stepping in. The auction failed to go lower, so I'm anticipating the auction to either rinse higher or get stuck in current day's balance. So for this day, I'm just taking this as my structural 5-minute high, high volume at the back. So on the 1 minute, I'm kind of expecting us to just rip higher if we are bullish. When high volume note of yesterday. So we're coming back into current day's balance. Interactive POC of yesterday. We're still going lower. So at this point we changed the structure. We failed to hold that high. 15-minute structure is down here. So 5-minute structure. And we are at discount of yesterday. So if price wants to go lower, we should disrespect this and just keep rinsing. But if we stop here and keep going higher, that means we're bullish. But yep, we broke structure here. We have a 1-minute structure that broke under POC, it's under discount. So if we had another structural breakdown here, shorts might play out. Okay, we failed to break lower. 15 minutes gonna fail to close lower. So it's either one of two scenarios. One is we're bullish, two is we're gonna play within this auction and we just fail at current day value area low. So let's see. Right here we're failing at current day's value area high, so it looks like a balanced day. So I want to see whether it can close above an external high. Okay, go back down to value area low, previous day auction. So now we definitely failed the auction up here, so I can anticipate that price wants to go lower, and I just have to wait for an entry. And also, target-wise, this just imbalance move. The whole move here was just imbalanced, in a sense that there's a lot of single prints, but as it was generating on this day, it was balanced because we took the balance of the previous day. But for this day in particular, this was just LR. So that in mind, I'm just paying attention to this as my market structure. So the 5 minutes we didn't close yet, so I probably can't use this now. Let's wait for the 5-minute close here. So if price were to retrace up there, I look for a short. So it has to retrace here, and I want to see a 1-minute change in market structure again, but right here we fail to reach that. Right now, we're retracing into a previous day POC. So see how the auction behaves. Right now it's just running through with buyers. Again, buyers defending. We're in market structure as well. So if market structure, we have this high, but our structural low is still all the way before. So we took that high. This becomes our structural low. This was our structural low now. So we are in this 5-minute auction. Had a sweep, 1 minute changed. Let's see if we retest this high. And if we retest this high and fail, then I will take shots here. It's unfortunate. We close below all of this low as well. Yeah, this was a statistical loss, can't really save it. Okay, so now I just want to see it retrace up to this high again. This 1 minute high. Right here, the auction is buyers failing, that's why it's such a big wick. And how many losses did I take this day? 7 Gen 1, so it's a 1 to 2. Yeah, it's an unfortunate loss again. Not sure how would I have saved this though. Maybe looking at auction, like looking at where price failed in terms of volume is better than market structure, because this was the last like peak of volume and then that's where it failed here. Maybe. I mean, this in and of itself is very unfortunate as well. It's the first trade that didn't go. Well, let's just see the next few days. Maybe I do have to look at other entry mechanisms because I do think waiting for all of those retrace might not be a good idea. This is a Wednesday. I mean, I can kind of see a potential change that I can do here, which is to look at structure on a 5 minute instead of a 1 minute. In some cases. So on this day, we're building value at near the POC of the previous day, but it's just a bunch of failure at POC. So I can tell sellers are very strong in this area. So I'm looking mainly for shorts, considering we are not getting buying power from the POC. So if this day opens up and gives shorts, I take it. So this was that high, structure was here for the 1 minute. High, fail. Essentially, I'm looking for it to close down here. Why do we fail to close down here? Still failing to close below. Now we close below. So now, failure at previous day POC. Sold off. Retesting the auction. A lot of failures. I'll just wait to see if the 5 minute wants to fail as well. So I just want to look for a structural break on that 5 minutes. So it broke here. This is structure. 1 minute retest it. Perhaps this is balanced, that's why. Like we're just consolidating at this area, so it's when I use a buy stop, it's just the value very low, and it's gonna react. Yeah, we're just failing at value very high now. Now it's bearish. So then, if I were to use what I learned in the previous day, where it could fail is at a point of market structure, which is up here somewhere. So then the retrace would come here, and then I want to see failure from here, and then this should be the one to do. But this is wrong as well. It can't be that it's because of balance. Like, it's like mildly concerning. It's so odd, like it's so odd, man. Like okay, like this is balance, right? And if it's 5 minute structure, this close below. Oh, maybe I just need more time to do back test.